Hello, it's Amy here. For today's video, Project ESTL will be focusing on art and specifically digital art. So for today's agenda, what we will be covering today, focusing on digital art, is what is it and how to use it. Then we will show the difference between digital art and traditional art. And the third option we have here, we did this with our participants, but we showcased digital art and we did a fun activity with color by number. And finally, AI art. So now we will be transitioning into digital art and what is it? So what is digital art? Digital art is any artwork that draws upon digital technology, so this can be really any form such as photos, videos, animation, or pixel, but just in general, anything that incorporates technology when creating an art piece. How to use digital art. Although on this slide it shows 3 steps, it is not as easy as it seems. In the next slides, we will be showing you how to do each step in detail. The first step is to select a digital software, and by this we mean you select a website or an app you will be using. This can be done on any device such as your mobile phone, a tablet, or a computer. Then once you have chosen the digital software, you will begin sketching. By this you would do what you regularly do when you draw, but instead this has much more perks to it. You can add layers and merge your drawings and add much more color. Once you are done with your drawing, you will save it and you can share it with your friends and family. We are going to be showing you the basic structure of a digital art software, and as you can see, there is so much to go over. To begin, in the left we have the pencil. This acts like a regular pencil, and when you press on the canvas in the middle here where you start your art, you will be able to see the lines of the pencil as you draw with either your finger or with a technological pen. Let's say you made a mistake while drawing, you will then use the eraser, which is right under the pencil. This will erase anything that is not wanted. Now under the eraser we have this thing called the color creator. Here you can create your own colors based on this gradient you see here, and once you have selected your color, it will then be saved and you'll be able to see all the colors you have saved as you made your own colors using the color creator. Then we have the eyedrop tool. This specifically samples any color from an image or drawing and adds them to your swatched panel. Under the color creator, we have the brush size and the brush opacity. This just makes the strokes of your line thicker or thinner, depending on how you modify it, and the brush opacity can make your lines more transparent or opaque. Now we have the brush styles. You could change the tools you are using to draw, such as switching it from pencil to pen or pen to a brush. As you can see, there are many options to choose from. Now finally, on the right side, we can see the navigator. So when you draw on your canvas, you can always zoom in to add small details, but in case you can't see it, the navigator will be able to show you the zoomed out version of your drawing, or in general, it shows you the whole piece of artwork. Then we have layering, and as mentioned before, one feature of digital art is that it allows you to layer your drawings, and by layering we mean that the software adds a transparent piece of paper where you can draw whatever you want, and it will simply layer over the original drawing. Of course, if you want the layer to be darker or more transparent than the drawing, you can change its opacity on the opacity bar under the navigator. Finally, the key to all of this is that when you are done with your drawing, you'll be able to see in the top left corner it says File. You'll press on this and it will provide a save as an option. This will allow you to save your work without it ever deleting. This is a digital art example. As you can see, this person is drawing similarly to how you would on paper, except digital art allows you to merge and layer your drawings to add more details. So, how mentioned before in our how to use digital art slide, you will first select a digital art software, and throughout the next slides we will be showing you some great options to choose from. First we have Canva, one of our best free options. You can do many things such as, of course, draw and paint digitally. You can manipulate images, meaning you can modify your image to achieve your desired results. Then we have draw in vector form, which basically uses algorithms to create illustrations using lines, curves, and geometric shapes. Overall, you can access the software on the Play Store app, which is mostly compatible with Windows and Mac. Second, we have Fire Alpaca. This is another great free program, and here similarly you can draw and paint digitally and manipulate images. Another great feature that it has is that it has a variety of tools and brushes you can use. However, there is no animation in the software, and you can download this software through internet. Again, it's mostly compatible with Windows and Mac. Then we have IBIS Paint, our third free option. You can draw and paint digitally, manipulate images, and finally animate. A feature that this has that the others didn't is that it can be shared with others in the IBIS database, and this app can be downloaded on the App Store, meaning it's mostly compatible with cellular devices. Finally, last option we have is the JS Paint. This art program does not have to be downloaded in order to use it, and again, like most others, it can draw and paint digitally. However, the brushes in this program are a little pixelized. All the options are great for digital art, but JS Paint is a great program to start drawing if that is what you are interested in. Just like I mentioned before, in our agenda today, we'll be showcasing digital art. We did this with our participants, but to give some insight in what we did, we used a digital software site, and we had a tablet and a technology pen and had our participants draw what they would like. This way they can familiarize themselves with digital artwork and how it is much different from drawing with a paper and pen. Digital art versus traditional art. What makes these styles different? Traditional art is a physical media referring to paint, pencils, clay, and much more. Even though they can be both done with a human hand, digital art tends to use a software to create these pieces of art. Which one is the digital art piece and which one is the traditional art piece? Please pause the video and unpause when you have finalized your answer. A is the traditional art piece and B is the digital art piece. Which one is the digital art piece and which one is the traditional art piece? Please pause the video and unpause when you have finalized your answer. A is the traditional art piece and B is the digital art piece. Which one is the digital art piece and which one is the traditional art piece? Please pause and unpause when you have finalized your answer. A is the traditional art piece and B is the digital art piece. Which one is the digital art piece and which one is the traditional art piece? Please pause and unpause when you have finalized your answer. A is the traditional art piece and B is the digital art piece. Which one is the digital art piece and which one is the traditional art piece? Please pause and unpause when you have finalized your answer. A is the digital art piece and B is the traditional art piece. Which one is the digital art piece and which one is the traditional art piece? Please pause and unpause when you have finalized your answer. A is the digital art piece and B is the traditional art piece. Another activity we did with our participants is a color by number. This was just an interactive activity that we wanted to do. This allowed them to see that digital softwares are not the only forms of digital art and that there is much more to it. Now, what we will be looking at is artificial intelligence and how we can see it in digital art today. In this slide, we'll be focusing on the positive impacts of AI, one being that it is much more accessible and affordable to a wider audience as it can provide you with all the materials you need for art online. It has the ability to create unique pieces of artwork, and it is very beneficial for those who don't have the mobility to paint, such as now AI introduces a form of art that doesn't have to be created by human hands, rather by using algorithms. The negative impacts of AI and how mentioned before in the positive impacts, art can now be created by using algorithms, and many critics believe that using this tends to lose the emotional depth that is correlated with the art created by human hands. It is also seen as a threat to artists as now artwork can be replicated and created easier, hence artist art loses the value it once had, emphasizing the idea that AI one day might replace artists as they are starting to be seen as the future of art. With this being said, do you believe that AI art should still be considered art even though it is not created by a human hand? Well, critics believe that it is not art. This topic tends to spark much controversy, debating whether is it really art? Thank you so much for watching. Please leave a like and subscribe.